Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going fabulous. Thank you for joining me. Well, today I'm going to create a project for you for Simon Says Stamp, and we're using one of the brand new items from the Born to Sparkle release. This is called Class Act. It's a 4x6 stamp set, and it's perfect for graduation, and so I thought we would make a graduation money holder. And the perfect size for this would be a mini Slimline card. So it's a mini Slimline graduation card money holder. A lot to say for one little card. But I'm taking the cap and gown in this stamp set. They're full-size images, and I thought they'd be perfect for the size of a mini Slimline. I stamped them with my versafine onyx black ink, and I'm stamping it a few times because I want a nice dark crisp cap and gown. And I did tape my panel down with my tape runner. So you're wondering how I got that to adhere. I just used my tape runner on my mouse pad. But I'm going to put my stamp back, and then we're going to use our MISTI once more using a background stamp. The background stamp that I'm using is the HALFTONE square background stamp. This is actually from last month's release, but I love the gradient tones on this background stamp. This is what it looks like, and I thought we would add some, the name of this release is Born to Sparkle, so we're going to add some sparkle to our graduation card. I'm going to take this and I'm putting it on my panel. I just cut a piece of neenah cardstock in half and put it in my MISTI here to do stamping, and I was turning it to figure out which way I was going to have my gradient, and I guess you really don't need to know which way because it's a square panel. You could die cut it anywhere you want after you stamp it, but I had it to where the gradient was descending. Now I'm going to ink it up again with my versafine onyx black ink. This is a sticky ink. I had to grab my newer ink pad because I wanted my ink to stay sticky because we're going to add embossing powder. So the embossing powder I'm using is gold, and we're going to scoop it all over this background panel. Actually, I have to bring in some cardstock, and once we have our entire background covered, I'll use my heat gun and we'll melt it so we have some nice sparkly squares in the background. I just love the way this looks. Okay, we're going to pour this back in our container and then grab our heat gun and melt this. Once it's all melted, we are going to bring in a couple pieces of cardstock, colored cardstock. I think if you were to customize these two pieces of colored, isn't that pretty? Just love that. But if you customize your card with the colors of the school, I'm going to actually make a high school graduation card, and so my niece is graduating and these are her colors, gold and blue. So if you were to customize it with the colors of the school, I think that'd be fabulous. Now I'm going to die cut out some panels using the mini Slimline rectangle die set. I'm not sure, I'm going to do a lot of matting with my embossed background panel and then 2 colored cardstocks. So we're going to use 3 of the largest dies in this set. I'm trying to figure out what I want in the bottom, and I think we're going to go with the yellow on the bottom, and then we'll add the blue on top, and then we're going to put our embossed panel on the very top of our blue. And I'm trying to find a spot. I actually missed a little spot when I was doing my heat embossing, so I found a spot that was almost perfect. Now this is basically what it's going to look like, and so we're going to set these aside, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. So we're going to bring back our MISTI. Actually, let's create our card base. Now, to create a money holder mini Slimline card, it's so easy. Take a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Okay, trim it at 6 1/4. So your panel is 8.5 by 6 1/4. Put that in your scoreboard. You're going to score it at 3 1/4 inches, and then also 6.5 inches. And then this will create the score lines and the pocket. So it's pretty easy to create a money holder, guys. For birthdays, graduation, this is a great size card. Now, I don't know if you know this, but your mini Slimline cards will fit in a regular standard envelope, the kind that you can get 100 in a box at Wally World. So if you're thinking you don't have envelopes for this, your grocery store will probably even have that size of envelope. Easy peasy for these mini slimline cards. Now, since it's a money holder, I do want to put a little notch in my pocket. I just use a 1-inch circle punch. I have one from EK Success. I notched it in the center on the smaller side of our scored piece. And then all you do is add score tape, glue to the top and bottom, and you have a little pocket. So it's very, very easy to create, guys. Now you could put the pocket on the left or the right. You just would flip it around. And I think we're going to put the pocket on the right side. There's enough room in this pocket to add a little sentiment. And then if you want to write a message, you could do that to the right on the inside of the card. Okay. After we have this done, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my cap and gown, and we're going to add our layers together. We're going to adhere our embossed panel to our blue panel, and you can see with these mini slimline rectangles, it leaves about 1/4 of an inch between each size, which is really nice. Now, I didn't know if I wanted to offset that back piece or not, to be a little playful, but I think we're just going to go straight traditional with our graduation card. I'm going to use my tape runner and adhere my yellow or gold cardstock to the front. And now, using that die for this, you are going to have a little bit of a white border on the left and right. I mean, just a hair, and I don't mind that. It's just because all slimlines are different. I'm going to go ahead and mat my blue and embossed panel on some gold cardstock. I have the gold cardstock from Lawn Fawn. I'll list it below. And then I wanted to put 2021 for my card, and I wanted to use that leftover piece of gold cardstock. So we're going to die cut out a 2-0 and a 2-1, and I'm just using a die set from Spellbinders. I'll list it below, but it just has 0 through 9 in it, and it was the perfect size numbers. I'm going to go ahead and pop up my embossed panel before we add our little embellishments here. I'm just going to use my foam tape, and we're not going to remove the release paper just yet. We're going to go ahead and I think we're going to have the bigger squares on the halftone panel on the bottom. I think that looks nicer where it fades up, so it's actually ascending. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. There's quite a few fun ones in the stamp set. There's even one that says officially hotter by 1 degree. I thought, and then there's lots of thermometers in here. I thought that was so cute. But my niece is graduating from high school, so I'm gonna I think that'd be fun for college. But I'm going to go ahead, stamp the congrats grad with black ink, and then I did trim it down, put foam adhesive behind it. We're going to pop up our gown, place this on our blue panel here. I'm not going to press really good just yet because I want to add the hat right above it, and I kind of want to evenly space them. We'll add a foam square behind, or a piece of foam tape behind our hat here. And it's a little too big. We're going to trim this off and add this just above our cap. We're going to kind of evenly space them like I said. And don't you think it's the perfect size for a mini slimline / money holder? I think it worked out perfectly. My slimline card measures 3 1/4 inches by 6 1/4 inch. So works out perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add my congrats grad sentiment at a diagonal, and eventually I will trim off the left and right, but I wanted to add my 2021 right underneath my sentiment here. And I love the way this looks. We're going to remove the release paper, add this to our card front, and we're just going to go again classic and center it. Before we add that though, I thought we would stamp our message on the inside too. There's a sentiment in the stamps that says, "Hooray, you did it." I'm going to stamp that on the money holder part, the pocket part. So we're just going to grab our stamp and our ink pad. I'm going to stamp it with my versafine onyx black ink on that bottom right corner. And also in the stamp set there is an image of another, a slightly larger cap. I'm going to take that one too, and we're going to stamp it with some Stardust ink. These are from Concord 9th, and then once with our Midnight ink, the same kind of colors that we use for our card front. kind of overlapping them. I think that looks great. Now we're going to add our panel. We're going to place this right in the center, keeping it nice and classic. And then all we have to do is add our monetary gift on the inside. Now I think, you know what guys, a gift card, a check will fit in that pocket. And also, of course, your cash would fit in there. You might have to maybe fold your cash a little bit for it to fit flat, but you would just write your message on the left there and you are good to go, and so's the graduation recipient. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Have a fabulous day and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.